Welcome to this week's Movie Math, which throughout the month of September is being brought to you by lynda.com, your online business school for entertainment and beyond. And it was such a close call for the Maze Runner this weekend that surely everybody involved was worried they'd be forced to learn a new business. Yes, while the industry expected the franchise's sequel to open with around $50 million, instead it found itself in a very tight race with Black Mass for the #1 spot. And while the Scorch Trials did manage to finish first, it actually placed second within the franchise, opening just under the first film's debut. Uh-oh! Yet another Hollywood franchise sees its audience decrease rather than increase. Guys, you're running in the wrong direction. And to make this decrease sting even more, Fox had basically doubled the budget for The Maze Runner 2, meaning that not only is less money coming in, but more is going out. Luckily, Fox was already planning to change things up with the third Maze Runner, which not only comes out 2 years from now instead of 1, but will be released in February instead of September. However, that does mean that Dylan O'Brien's Thomas will find himself in a race against Jamie Dornan's Christian Grey. But while Black Mass gave the Scorch Trials a run for its money, they clearly weren't competing for the same audience. The Scorch Trials audience was 63% under the age of 25, while Black Mass's audience was 90% over the age of 25 and 40% over the age of 50. And naturally, Black Mass did amazing business in Boston, where the true story it depicts took place. But while this was definitely a much-needed improvement for Johnny Depp, he's still not quite out of the woods yet. Sure, Black Mass opened bigger than Mordecai, Transcendence, and The Rum Diary, but not bigger than Dark Shadows. And while Black Mass opened on par with similarly themed films The Departed and Argo, which both went on to become big award winners, audiences gave Black Mass a B cinema score. A B! And let me tell you, from experience, audiences are super hesitant to be negative about a movie, which is why most of them get an A or A- from Cinema Score. That means Black Mass could drop off the face of the box office as quickly as Whitey Bulger dropped off the FBI's radar. But while the Scorch Trials and Black Mass battled it out for first and second place, this weekend was also flush with limited releases as awards season kicked off. Everest, opening only on IMAX, was still able to debut in 5th place, while boasting the highest per theater average in the top 10. An IMAX-only debut is a new way to position prestige picks in the marketplace, and The Walk will be trying out the exact same strategy in just a few weeks. If it's as successful as Everest, IMAX will have the momentum it needs to get financing for more theaters. Not to mention, this kind of success makes their deal with Netflix seem a whole lot more viable and perhaps more palatable to movie theater chains, where Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon 2 will be released exclusively on IMAX screens and the streaming service in 2016. Then, while Captive barely managed to make it into the top 10, proving that it's not as easy to make a religious film as one would think, 2 other films impressed an even more limited release. Pawn Sacrifice opened on just 33 screens and delivered a very solid per theater average. But it was Sicario that exploded onto screens. Playing in just 6 theaters, the Emily Blunt pick delivered the kind of box office limited releases are supposed to deliver. And while it might not be on par with the averages of movies like The Grand Budapest Hotel, American Sniper, or The Imitation Game, this should still help Disney feel a little bit better about casting Blunt as Ms. Marvel if they are indeed considering her. And everybody, not just Disney, will be keeping an eye on Sicario as it expands next week and then goes nationwide the week after. As for the rest of the top 10, last week's big winners, The Perfect Guy and The Visit, both dropped considerably in their second weekends. But luckily, both pictures are extremely low budget. Then while the rest of the movies dropped about 40 to 50%, War Room yet again impressed with just a 20% drop. Now, before we get to next week's movies, I want to thank our sponsor, lynda.com. This online business school has over 100,000 courses and tutorials, all taught by experts. And lynda.com is offering Movie Math viewers unlimited access for 10 days for free. Learn how to start a business, have the body language of a leader, or how to manage your time. Just go to lynda.com/moviemath to sign up and be sure to use that link so they know that we sent you. As for this coming weekend, Hotel Transylvania 2 should easily take the top spot, while the Intern will battle it out with the Scorch Trials and Black Mass for the runner-up positions. And the most terrifying thing about the Green Inferno seems to be how little money it will make. As for the specialty market, the walk-on IMAX, 99 Homes, and Stonewall will all debut in limited release, while Sicario expands. And that's the weekend box office. I'm Grace Randolph, and we just did some movie math. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope you'll go beyond the trailer for these other top movies.